Welcome back to Self Revelations. It's your boy B-Dab.
And I'm Juan Moreno.
Juanavelli, how's everything been going? I know it's been hot. I know everything is, changing in this short period of time. The season's over. How things going at work and how everything been with you?
Good, man. Everything's been going pretty phenomenal at work. I'm still just continuing to try to get better and stuff like that. I feel like it gets super repetitive, especially at work. If people will ask me, because I try to practice, I actually do look at work as being my playground. This is the time where I can practice all the books that I've read, my philosophies, the conversations I'll have with you, the things I'll talk about on this podcast. I actually practice it while I'm at work because I think I try to look at a way of life as a challenge and it's play. I'm at the playground with life. I get to be practical with all the things that I really do believe in. And what more better way to practice than to actually do it where you work and your family and your friends and to be able to, practice being a better leader, embracing it, being stoic, being very calm. When people come up with problems, emotional, you start to see with me trying to be more logical, less emotional, because I think emotions push us back as humans. It distracts us to the point where we won't do something that means the world to us because we're afraid of what people think and how you feel about yourself. These thoughts and these emotions that you have will stop you from pursuing your goals. So what I try to do is to make sure that when I'm at work and when I'm, going through life, I want to actually slowly remove all my emotions because I feel like it holds me back sometimes. I overthink it. I'm assuming. I get upset. I get angry. I'm not thinking clearly. I have brain fog with emotions. So with work, being a leader there and actually doing it and showing it and people giving me the feedback of they embrace me and they respect me so much because of the way I carry myself. I never get upset. I don't yell unless I need your help and you're all the way across somewhere. I have to yell at you to get your attention. That's different. But doing that type of stuff really, and I only call myself a leader too because obviously that's what I want to be. And I feel like I am that naturally as a man. And then also in my field and what I do in my job. And also what I want with my friends and my family and what I want to be remembered as, but also the feedback that I get from other people. They just reassure me oh yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I am not, I forgot how, I always forget the saying too because I think maybe too much. I'm not what you think I am. I'm not what I think I am. I am what you think I am. So basically if I'm trying to be this way, and I'm trying to show this, you also seeing it and then also giving that same feedback what I'm trying to do reassures me okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So with work and then also the stuff that I'm doing outside of work, which is running, which I've been doing straight up off the couch. I've been running little by little, throughout the last year or two, like a mile here, a mile there. But now all of a sudden I'm running 6 miles every day. That's pretty fucking crazy. Just straight up off the couch. Just straight up, not off the couch, but more of just, it was kind of hard at first, but going through the trial and tribulations and going through those mental spots where you want to, quit and you want to stop running and pushing yourself, well, I'll stop at the end of the block, but then you pass that block and you're oh, I could run way more. You get over that hump and hurdle. I look at running as a way of life. So it gives me a perfect balance that eases off the pressure and stress that I have on myself because I put so much on me that it helps me be able to do all those things and to try to be calm because, I put a lot on myself because I really want to do a lot of stuff while I'm here on this earth before I leave. So I'm trying to live my life based off what I want people to say at my funeral. And I want to create the biggest impact because no money, no car, no anything is worth what you can give to others and the feeling that you get from that. So that was a lot, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm on.
yeah. And with being, you're taking your emotions out of it because it's, it pulls you away from your purpose, so to speak, and being more stoic. You think that applies to more than just your work field, and you think it applies more to things in the regular world, relationships, maybe with conflicts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it removes the anxiety, the depression, the extra thinking, the overthinking, it's able for you to do what you need to do with no emotions involved. Like, it makes it easier. Like, sometimes, how they say ignorance is bliss. It's, sometimes I wish that I didn't think as much, because then I would probably do way more. I would probably make a lot of dumb mistakes. But the fact that I'm a thinker, sometimes I think a little bit too deep when I shouldn't. I just gotta, sometimes I gotta touch the stove to see that it's hot to not touch it again. But sometimes I'm so thinking because I see the steam coming off the stove that I'm like, is it hot? Should I? I'm thinking longer than I should. If I would have touched it, like, oh, that's hot. Within like 5 seconds, I would know it's hot. Now I'm looking at the stove for 5 minutes, thinking that I'm gonna burn myself if I touch it or not, or maybe I won't. So that's kind of what I do. I think once you remove the overthinking from it and you remove the emotional from it, I'm not saying to be a robot. Obviously you have to have empathy for people at the same time, I understand. But I think once you remove all that clutter from your mind, it just makes relationships and life so much easier. You do a lot more while you're here. You don't know, like, you could be gone tomorrow. You could be gone. I have a heart attack at this moment. Like, you never know. So I think, like, when you're able to just do things and, like, think less, you're able to get quicker results faster and actually be in the moment more. We think too much because now we're living in a world where we have a lot of comfort. We get food delivered, groceries delivered. You almost don't even have to drive no more unless you're going to work, or because it's almost a luxury now to do certain things. Back then, it was a survival mechanism. We were all worried about getting killed from, being outside in the jungle. Now we're over here gonna get killed by what you do when you're on social media too much, or what people say about you. So, like, now, because we have so much comfort, we would normally react from external events. Now we're over here suffering internally because of the thoughts that go in our mind, because of judgment or how you perceive yourself. So I think the moment that you could let go of all that thinking, you get a lot more stuff done that could then relate to your career, your relationships, your family, the way you carry yourself, to then excel.
Yeah, facts. And do you think that, like, how you said, like, maybe touching the stove instead of just staring at it and seeing, like, is this steam? Like, it's steaming. You think, is it hot? Like, I don't know if it sure is. Like, learning from your own experiences, maybe touching that stove and learning from yourself. You think your experiences, your life experiences, learning stuff on your own is maybe a better way of growing as a person, rather than trying to learn from other people's experiences or based off what other people say?
Yeah. I believe if you do have people in your life, or if you've seen it, or you read books or interviews, or you talk, you're able to then learn from other people what to do and what not to do. But then if you don't have that and you're like a self-learner, you need like demonstration, then you go ahead and make the mistakes yourself. Obviously, you don't put too much on the line where you kill yourself, like taking a huge risk. But like doing little things, like saying things of how you feel, and it being perceived differently than what you intended, I think that's worth taking the risk, because then you'll know how to adapt your message better or your action better to then pursue what you really want to be explained or shown. So yeah, I do believe, like, there's a quote too. I forget how it goes, but it's like well, I'll just say this: like, you either learn from other people's experiences, you learn from your experiences, or you can do both at the same time. So there's like a lot of power in that, like, to be able to read a book and then learn what not to do, or to be able to go through your own experience and to learn, what to do and what not to do and how to maneuver in life.
Yeah, for sure. And I think in my situation, it was both, but the part in my life where I grew the most is when I messed up on my own, because anybody could tell you, okay, don't do this. But until you actually get in that fire or get in that field, like, you're not going to know, because people are going to do what they want to do regardless. So getting into like the real world and messing up, it humbles you, because no one's going to be more hard on yourself than yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that voice in the back of your head that's that's constantly like the judge, you know what I mean, in your head, is always gonna tell you, you know, right from wrong, if you could have did better, if you could have did that last rep, if you could treat somebody better, if you could do more for your family. It's gonna let you know and tell you. So when I wasn't on my P's and Q's and I needed to level up or I needed to hit that next gear in life, it was looking at myself, looking at my own situation and fixing it as a man, just fixing where I am and trajectory of where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like if I wasn't put in certain situations, maybe I don't grow at that point. You know what I mean? Maybe my progress is a lot slower, but that's why I'm always thankful for everything that I've been put through, because it's made you exactly who you are. You know, everything that's happening or has had happen to you has happened for a reason, because you don't know a little alteration could change the completely of how you are and how you are as a person.
Yeah. So what is the most, what comes into mind when it comes to like the biggest thing that gave you the most humbling? Like whether it was an ego check or a pride check or like a lesson that you learned that you thought was true, what you thought was true, and then life gave you like just threw you a curveball. You're like, oh, like this is not what I thought. Like what comes into mind that gave you like a very humbling experience of what you thought was true that ended up kind of shifting it a little bit?
I mean, I've always been a hard worker, but I'd say the thing that like kind of shook my world the most and kind of led me to a humbling experience was, you know, early on, you know, playing football and, you know, believing that I'm the best, you know, and then getting out there and you know, performing, and then you kind of get a big head. Like say you have a big week one week and maybe you don't work harder that next week. You know, maybe you take your foot off the gas. You don't do the same things you did in preparation the week before in that certain game that you had a breakout game in, you know, and you go to work or you go to practice all those days of the week and you kind of take your foot off the gas and you get exposed in that next game. Then you look at yourself like, damn, why was I fucking up? Why is that? Well, you came late to practice. You weren't busting your ass. You skipped a workout. This is why things aren't going well for you. Maybe if you busted your ass and you were watching film and actually prepping for this game, maybe you would perform better. Maybe if you knew the plays that they were going to do, that would help you out in the game. Know the formations of, okay, when they're in this formation, they run the ball 90% of the time. Or we're in this formation, they pass 95% of the time. Certain things and certain keys would help you be more successful in these games. So I think the most humbling thing for me was, you know, maybe having like early on in Pop Warner, having a good game and then turning around and having a bad game. It was a humbling experience because not only do, you know, you have that judge in the back of your head, like, damn, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I prep better? And then on top of that, you got your, you know, your parents like on top of you, like, hey, like, you know, get back on your shit and stuff like that. So it was definitely one of those experiences, the feeling of not working as hard when you got success from doing those small things.
Yeah. And for me, that's why I think it's a blessing that I feel, even though sometimes I get impatient, that causes me to be like antsy and have anxiety and sometimes like, yeah, just self-sabotage sometimes. But I actually do enjoy never being satisfied. Like I love having that, like this hunger. Like I can't imagine like getting to a point where I reach all the goals that I want and getting to that point and then stopping. Like I think it's like you see what happens to a lot of people that when they're so hungry then they get fulfilled with whatever. Like let's say I'm trying to make $1 million. In a few years I make the $1 million and I was so focused on that one goal that you'll hear the stories and you see that people then fall off. Like people who hit the lottery that win millions of dollars and end up being even more broker when the time goes by. Or you see people that, you know, like they were working so hard to make it to the NFL and they're a first round pick and then immediately fall off first game, first year, and never come back from it. Because I feel like you got satisfied. Like you weren't chasing something bigger than yourself. And so like that's why I have to remind myself too. Is like I'm trying to chase something that's bigger than me. Like, because I feel like, oh, if let's say I put a dollar amount of like what will fulfill me. I'm trying to make $100,000 a year, and that would solve a lot of problems. And that's my ultimate goal. That's not big enough. Like once I'm gonna get to $100,000. That's nothing technically, right? Like if I get to that, what now? Like hopefully within myself, naturally I'm not satisfied, but what happens is you get satisfied because this was your ultimate goal, and then you fall off. So I feel like, I don't like to put expectations on myself, but I think there is some benefit of achieving something that's like you gotta have an ultimate goal. Like you don't want to, like, for like an example, like, oh, I don't want to just be an NFL player. I'm trying to be the best NFL player in my position ever. Facts. Like when you do something like that, now it makes it, because you're not gonna get there in the first year, the second year, the third year, fifth year, like you play, like you see like Champ Bailey, you see like Nemanja Osmond, I think only played like 9-12 seasons maybe, but like, or you see like Darryl Green, like this old Redskins cornerback. You see like these Deion Sanders. You see these players that play like 15 plus, like because they were trying to be the best ever. So like, and they were putting all that time in, and so that's how I look at myself. Like I'm not trying to reach a surface goal. I'm trying to reach like a sky's the limit. Like I'm pushing it higher and higher. I'm elevating that, and that's what I want to do, because I feel like when you have your goal has to be bigger than you. That's to scare you. Yeah. Like it almost feels impossible. Like that's worth doing instead of something that's possible.
Yeah, facts. What's that saying? Like, it's like you aim for the moon. If you miss, you land amongst the stars when it comes to your goals. That's I think that is a great way to look at it, because you always want to aim for the highest possible level that you can do whatever you plan to do. And if things don't work out and say you're a level below, like say, oh, I want to make $1 million, and you make 900,000, you still are close to that goal and you still can achieve that goal, but you're 90% of the way there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So grinding to get that, it's just going to push you, because if you tell yourself, okay, I have 6 months to lose 10 pounds, it's going to take you 6 months to lose 10 pounds. But if you give yourself a strict plan and you're like, you know what, I need to lose 10 pounds in the next month and a half, and I'm going to change my diet and do this, and that, then you're going to do it sooner. You know what I mean? Same thing for starting a business, starting a podcast. You see, like for starting the podcast, we kept procrastinating. And then once it got to New Year's, it was just kind of like, okay, let's just do it. What are we waiting for? You know what I mean? And look at us 7-8 months later. So you gotta just go for it and stop waiting around for the perfect chance or the perfect opportunity, because you will never find the perfect chance or opportunity with anything that you're gonna do. Not relationships, not business, not your goals, with nothing. You just gotta shoot for it. And if things work out, they work out. If they don't, they don't. But at least you gave the effort and you tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I posted this like funny video of this guy on a skateboard. It was, the caption was like, oh, waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect time. And he was like gonna go down a ramp, and like skateboarders, I don't really know nothing about skateboarding, but like the guy had a skateboard, he was ready to like hop on it. He was just carried it he was running around the whole. Ready to like, he was just running though. And so I think that's what happens though when you try to look at things of like, I'm waiting for the perfect time. I'm waiting for the perfect time to have kids. I'm waiting for the perfect time to get this opportunity. I'm waiting for the perfect time to be in position. I'm waiting for the perfect time to have the conversation with my significant other that I need to have. I'm waiting for the perfect. There will never be a perfect time. There's always going to be doubt. There's always going to be moments where you don't feel good. There's going to be moments where you feel tremendous. Like, you have to just do it. You got to take the chance. You got to take the risk. Like, that's the one thing I started learning about myself too, because I would think like that as well. I would overanalyze. I would wait to do something because I want to get all the information first. That's a stupid way to go about it, I think, because even if you get all the information first, you will still try to find a way not to do it because you got all the information first. Like, you'll try to hold yourself back. That you got to take a chance, Like, sometimes you got to dive in the deep end to learn really how to swim. Like, to put your life in danger, to, like, really, put yourself in a situation where you gotta survive. Like you gotta be in those pressured moments where you have no choice but to get it done. And that's just the way I operate. Is like, I got taught how to swim by somebody throwing me in the deep end of the water, and ever since then I learned how to swim. Like I was like 6 years old, so like that's how I learned how to swim. And I kind of like, everybody's like raised different, but I do believe like you gotta take a chance. You gotta shoot for it. Like there's never gonna be the right moment. It's never gonna be the right time. You're not always gonna feel your best. A lot of times, like with the running too, like it's one thing I taught myself this now is like, especially when I don't feel like doing something, that's when I know I really have to do it. Cause like those are the moments that you like. If you can do something that has a lot of benefit to you, that is really important, and you're so interested in it, but you don't feel like doing it, and then you're going through like the motions at first, and then you're going through the first 20, 30 steps, the first half a mile, the mile comes, and then you start feeling better. And then after a few miles, after you're done running, you feel fucking good. You're just so thankful that you did it. You pushed through and you got to that. So like, and sometimes you gotta do that with everything in life. Like you're never gonna feel good all the time. Actually, sometimes you feel like shit most of the time, but those are the moments that really matter.
Yeah, facts. And I remember seeing this video, and it was talking about in the element of sports, but he was just talking about like the guy that does it every day, regardless of how he feels, is always gonna beat the guy that does it when he feels like doing it. So when it comes to like anything like you were talking about, like the guy that grinds and does it every single day, or does it regardless of how he feels, and puts the work in, you're not going to outwork him. You're not going to beat him. You know what I'm saying? And in the same sense, like for me, for instance, that's what pushes me to like, be better in the sport that I'm doing or in the field that I'm doing. It's like, I know somebody else is out there working. So what if I worked out earlier in the day? Work out again. Is there a rule that I can't put in extra work? Like, as long as I take care of my body and I recover, like, let me put in this work. Let me go do this. Let me go run. Let me go do this. And even if I'm working out and I'm like, bro, I do not feel like going up here, bro. I'm relaxed. I'm in my bed. I'm comfortable. No, like that voice, that judge in the back of your head, no, get your ass up. Go put your work in today. Like out of the 4 workouts that I did this week, I wanted to do 2 of them. You know what I mean? And just getting out there, like you said, starting off, and you're kind of like going through the motions, but then like you kick into that gear and you're like, oh, hold on, like I like this feeling, I like this pump, okay, you get in the part of the grind, and you kind of get into this airplane mode, or like this certain like groove, and it just feels amazing. But you never know, if you would have stayed in bed, you would have never experienced that. If you would have just stayed in your comfort zone, you know what I mean? But everybody is different, and just for me personally, that's some of the things that kind of push me in my field.
Yeah, this is a great thing that I heard too. Like there's like this like running compilation that I hear, and one of the things that caught my mind when I was running was like, imagine it was like imagine the people that imagine the people that are imagine the people that have passed away that would love, or the people that are in the hospitals that are dying from a sickness or something that they can't control. Like the stuff that you take for granted, how quick they would to just trade places with you. Yet you're so focused on the things that you don't have, or the things that you feel like you suck at, or you feel that you have that are setbacks. And there's other people that have like cancer and like certain diseases, or like that have passed away. How quick they would trade places for you and live life at the fullest because of what you have. Like that, I was running and I was hearing that. I was just like, damn, man, the fact that I can run and like my knees are like working, even though I'm aching, I'm hurting, like the fact that I can do this, I was like, I gotta like give it my all. Like, I have to be in this moment. I have to be grateful for what I have, and I have to push myself. Like I have to remind myself with that philosophy of like, how far do you want to push this? Like how far can you go? The one thing that switched my mind, I remember I was struggling like running the 6 miles, And then I heard something in one of these compilations that I was listening to, this running compilation. It said like sometimes you have to be willing to die to then embrace doing what you feel is difficult. Like once I like embrace, like, okay, because I didn't realize, like, when I'm running in 100 degrees. Because I told Selena, my lady, I told every person when I go run, don't tell me the weather. I don't care. I don't want to know. I know it's hot. That's one thing for sure. And I know that I'm like getting burned by the second, because it, like, even my nose has, like, it's starting to get like burned. So I have to put like sunscreen now extra on here. Now I understand why people put sunscreen right here and go running, because like my nose is starting to get dark. I already have a big nose, so now it's starting to show. But like literally, like putting that in perspective of, you know, like, oh shit, I forgot where I was going. But damn, I forgot where I was going with this. Basically, pushing myself and embracing that, and it's a slim chance, obviously. Like, I'm willing to die to get to that 6 mile and not stop. Made it so much easier for me to do it now. Like, I'll be doing it like with ease. I run the whole time. I mean, I'm not trying to run for speed. I'm trying to run for like consistency. So I feel like once you embrace like the worst part, what could happen, you're like, if you embrace asking your boss for a raise, or you embrace quitting that job and then pursuing a job that pays less but has more time for you to focus on your business, or moving back with your parents to then be able to focus and not have to pay so much money for certain things that could allocate that time and that money towards something you really want to do. Knowing and letting go of the judgment and what the pride and ego, like, you know, embracing, and you're willing to sacrifice all these emotions, and even embracing you could possibly die chasing this goal. Like, it's worth doing. Like, it's like, you know, like 50 Cent said, like, what was it, get rich or die trying. Like, and once you embrace that, like, it's kind of crazy to say, you know, like embracing death and stuff like that, things actually come way easier now, because then you're not thinking no more. What's the worst fear? You're gonna die? We're all gonna die. Like, that's fine. Like, I'd rather die chasing. What does it say? I'd rather live a fulfilled. I forgot how it goes, but it's like, I'd rather live a short, fulfilled life than live a long, coward life. I'd rather do that. I'd rather take all the risks, take all the chances while I'm here on this earth, than to live a long, boring ass life. I'd rather take that chance.
And that's the mentality of a lot of the greats. Muhammad Ali, you know, that's his mentality when he was in the boxing ring. You were going to have to kill him to beat him. And he meant that shit, you know. And, you know, a lot of the greats, when it comes to any sport or anything in general, like, they're willing to go to the greatest extent to meet their goals or push to that next level. And that's what it takes a lot of the times. I know a lot of times when, you know, I was in games or I was aching and stuff like that, I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm here. Like, you're going to have to prove to me, or you're going to have to show me. I'm going to have to get knocked out. You're going to have to prove to me every single play that maybe you're better than me, or that this is the better team. Even if we're fucking losing, I'm still going to play my hardest. I'm still going to grind. I'm still going to smack people in the mouth. It don't matter what's on the scoreboard, because I'm representing me and my last name. So even if I'm running down and I hit somebody and I might not be able to see you for a couple of seconds, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I signed up for this. You know what I mean? Like, when you're on your jog, you signed up for that. You made that agreement to yourself. You made that agreement, like, I'm going to finish this regardless of what happens. What if I fucking pass out and Selena has to come and find me? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because that's the agreement. You know, you're not going to chicken and cower out because it's tough. But when you're doing these things, when you think about, oh, well, my ankle hurts, so let me just turn around and go home. Or you think about the things the discomforts, the small obstacles that maybe can harm you physically or anything like that, and you turn around and chick.
My bad. You were going.
I hate you so much, bro. You know, I just see your face. I see your face.
You know what I was thinking about right now?
What?
Remember that time I was telling you like to keep like your like put a fist in front of the microphone?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I was gonna tell you that right now too.
Hey yo.
No, because like I don't know why.
Keep a fist in front of my microphone.
Okay, so let me justify this though, because like basically it would like not sound too harsh when we're speaking too close to it. Like if you hear on the podcast, like if I was talking right here, it's hella loud on like the audio.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about like, oh shit, I should have told this in the beginning. And now
I was like this close.
Remember when I was messing with you when I told you to do this?
Yeah. Hey yo.
And I was thinking about it. And that's why I was laughing.
Bro, this shit can't hear. Bro, as soon as I looked up, I tried so hard not to laugh. I looked up and I looked at you, bro, and you're already smiling, bro. I can't handle it. I guess you got me back for last
Right,
episode.
We're even. So. I tried to not laugh either.
Where was I? What was I saying?
Like you were gonna get hair implants on your hair.
Bro, I hate you so much.
Okay. To tap back to the seriousness.
To tap back into the seriousness, before I was rudely interrupted. Like I was saying, all the greats, they have that mentality. You know what I mean? Like they'll die doing what they love. They'd rather die doing what they love than doing something that they're genuinely not passionate about and it doesn't fulfill their soul. You know what I mean? The shit that we're doing with this podcast feeds my soul. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is what I'm here. Like this is my purpose, is to motivate and inspire people.
That was terrible. I'm sorry. Damn it got me.
Please. Bro, please, bro. Please.
You were going so good.
We're going to click off the episode.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Laughing.
I'm so sorry. No, but let me, to honestly just like to basically like to add to it though. But that is very true though. I think I started noticing like the moment that you embrace all the sacrifices and like, the fact that you're willing to die, like whatever you're doing, you're able to. God damn it! Oh shit! Ooh, hey, take a breather. Okay. See, we could be joking and laughing on this podcast too. We're regular people.
I hate you so much. Oh my god, this wouldn't have happened if you wouldn't start laughing, bro.
I know.
I was trying so hard.
I was just thinking about like when I was messing with you, and it now doesn't go away.
It be like that.
Yeah, fuck it. Hey, fuck it. Self revelations.
Yeah,
self revelations. No, but that is true though. I think there's a lot of truth in like just embracing the sacrifices and embracing what's the worst is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like if you take this opportunity to take this career, you have to take a setback, you have to downgrade your living. What's the worst thing? Oh, your high school friends or Instagram or your family members are gonna make fun of you. They're gonna say something about what you did. Like what? Like when you really think about it, when it's all said and done, like if you figure out you have a sickness tomorrow, or you figure out like you're gonna die tomorrow, you're not gonna be thinking about what people say about you. You're gonna be focused on like what you didn't do. Like you were overthinking this whole life shit so much, like, and that's why like like life and death situations, or even like certain psychedelics like give you close to death, or like being so nervous or anxiety tends to teach you that you're taking life too serious. That's why for me, I try not to take life so fucking serious. Life is to be experienced, not to like think and judge so much. So once you realize like sometimes you're overthinking it, like sometimes you have to just live life and like take the chance and like take the judgment and try to, put yourself in position to do what needs to be done, instead of like the judgment that you're gonna receive, or like the thoughts, the negative thinking of like that's gonna come across your head. Oh my bad. This is terrible. I love it though. Oh my god.
I'm trying so hard with you, bro.
This is a very funny episode. Shout out High Noons.
Oh, they're amazing. It's top 5 for sure.
Yeah, we definitely with the chamoy.
Oh my god.
What's the shout out El Ceja? El Ceja.
Yeah, they go crazy.
All right, goddamn.
You can't be drinking these before the podcast.
Yeah, lesson learned.
No, but I hear what you're saying, most definitely. And it's crazy how like even though me and you have like completely different like pass in our life, the mentality is the same for like both what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Both of what we're doing or we're trying to accomplish for our goals. So like having that mentality of you of like, you know, say you're doing your thing at work or you're doing your thing, you know, with the running. Oh, I'm gonna have to like die for me to stop running. You know what I'm saying? Like me getting cramps in my ribs and me getting my lower back tightness, that's not gonna stop me from running. You know what I mean? And you know, same vice versa for me. Like someone's gonna have to like knock me out for me to genuinely consider like stopping. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to be something serious. So, you know, having that mentality, that's gonna push you past limits that you never even knew that you can push through.
Yeah. And I think, like, I mean, this podcast is a good example because we've been laughing a lot, too.
Yeah.
I think you have to also, like, not take things so serious.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got to laugh. You got to make fun of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, life is too short to be taking shit so serious. Like how I mentioned it a little bit earlier, like, it's to be experienced and have fun. Like, it doesn't, like, you don't have to hold even circumstance, situation, even death. I like to not look at those things so serious because I think, bro, like, why be upset? Why be pissed off? Like, you know, things are going to happen, emotions you're going to feel. But I think you only got one shot at this. You know, why not have fun doing this? Why not challenge yourself to be better instead of, you know, act like you're going to live here forever or act like tomorrow's promise? Because it's not. Like, why sit on the couch all day and like watch TV when you could go challenge yourself? Because tomorrow's not promised, but we're like so comfortable in life that you think that tomorrow's like gonna be there. Yeah. You'll never know.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Nothing
is guaranteed. Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us for this episode, bro. You know, I appreciate you. Dang, it's crazy how much you were laughing this episode. Like that's wild. Like that's wild. I thought I was the one. Like last time, I thought I was the one, but you're wilding right now.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that the image that I had when I joked about you with the mic, it just came in my head and I couldn't let it go now. Like it's just in here, and I just keep laughing now.
Like you said the tone. This last 10 minutes, we've been sitting here trying to finish our points, but crying, laughing. That's crazy. Fuck it. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Fuck it.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys. We thank you guys for supporting us. You know, like we say every week, you know, this is why we do this. You know, all the DMs, all the support that you guys have for us. You know, we're genuinely happy in the community that we're building. You know, the website that we're getting ready to do, the content that we're getting ready to come out with. You know, all this stuff is all gonna align here in the next few months. So you guys keep sticking with us, keep supporting us. We're going to keep growing, and, you know, we're going to keep doing what we do and what we love. So we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode.